more aid has started arriving into Gaza via a temporary floating pier built by US forces. Israel's military published this footage, reportedly showing the first deliveries arriving at Gaza's coastline. It's hoped more than 100 trucks a day will come ashore carrying food and other vital supplies. The United Nations welcomed the new entry point but said the floating pier couldn't be relied on to solve Gaza's hunger crisis.
There is nowhere left to go for Ibrahim and his family but their destroyed house. He is one of more than 600,000 Palestinians who have fled Rafah due to the ongoing Israeli offensive. He is now back to what's left of his family's home in Khan Yunis. Today, Ibrahim has to make food from an aid parcel.
This is the kitchen. It's destroyed. It's unfit for use, but we are making it work, God willing. I can repair this hole so the children don't fall out.
The boxes usually contain canned meat, fava beans, and chickpeas. The WFP warns that aid packages like these are running out.
We've not been able to access our warehouse in Rafah for more than a week. We have very little food and fuel coming through the border crossings in the south, and we are always trying hard, but failing currently to bring in consistent volumes of food.
What aid agencies want are new shipments and entry points for aid delivery to Gaza. Fuel, food, and medical supplies have dwindled since the Israeli military took control of the Gaza side of the Rafah border crossing last week to begin ground combat there. Aid trucks on Friday arrived at a new floating pier built by the U.S. off the coast of Gaza as a temporary aid corridor. The number of trucks that arrive there could reach a maximum of 150 per day.
Olga Cherevko is spokesperson for the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs. She joins us from Rafah in southern Gaza. Olga, welcome to you. We've just seen this floating pier that's been built to bring aid into Gaza. Is that actually going to help, or is it more like a drop in the bucket?
Thank you for having me. The floating pier, it's a way to supplement entry of aid into Gaza. However, it still remains, our need remains to open all the available crossings, and the best way to deliver aid still remains by land routes. So we maintain the call to continue calling for reopening of these crossings, because at the moment, hardly any aid is entering Gaza, and especially with the operations happening in the south. And as Matthew said earlier, as of a couple of days, actually, we had no more food to distribute in the south.
Olga, the things you've just said, asking for much more aid, particularly via land and also safe access to that aid. Aid organisations have been calling for this for a long time. What will happen if things don't change and change soon?
I mean, the consequences of this will be absolutely catastrophic for the people here, because once we run out of stocks, and if the aid does not start coming in on a consistent and scaled up manner, then we will no longer have any more stocks to provide. We will not have fuel to deliver this assistance. And all operations basically could come to a halt unless we have a consistent and a sustained supply into Gaza.
Olga, you're in Rafah. Thousands of Palestinians sheltering there have had to flee since the Israeli incursion into the city. I'm just interested, how are you and your colleagues able to conduct your work in what are quite clearly very dangerous conditions?
Yeah, it's very, very difficult and challenging. And of course, this is one of the most dangerous places to work in as a humanitarian worker. And of course, protection of civilians is one of our main concerns. So we face massive challenges. You know, it's not just about getting the aid inside through the crossings, but it's getting it to the people who need it within the Gaza Strip. And this is what we face really huge challenges with, because our convoys have come under attack. It's a very dangerous environment. We spend a lot of time waiting for green lights, coordinating these movements. A lot of times we have to abort missions because of various complications. And so it's a huge challenge.
Thank you very much for your time today, Olga. That was Olga Cherevko, spokesperson for the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs in Rafah in Gaza. Thank you so much.
Thank you.